Good morning, everyone. I'm Duke Carter, and thank you all for joining us for the Sunday edition of the Eyewitness Morning News. Our weekend is going to end a bit soggy. A few storms are moving into the area, but we're not expecting it to be as bad as the rain we saw last week. So right now, we're going to check in with our meteorologist, our weather expert, Chris Franklin. Chris, we do have a tornado watch in effect too, right?
Yes, parts of the area are now under a tornado watch until 10 o'clock, only because there is a line or kind of cluster of strong storms up to our north.
Thank you, Chris. The Grand Theater in New Orleans could be days away from being torn down after a fire ripped through one of its auditoriums. The building, left abandoned since Hurricane Katrina, was one of many hangout spots for people in New Orleans East. Now, some say that area is reminiscent of what it looked like 14 years ago when Katrina first hit. And it's a different story for several other New Orleans neighborhoods that also took on damage.
We're really just annoyed because we want economic development out here in New Orleans East, but this is hampering our perception. And we don't understand why it has not been addressed by the new administration.
No word on when the demolition will happen, but according to the New Orleans Fire Department, tearing down the building also puts local artist B. Mike's anti-violence mural in jeopardy. An update now on the man accused of fatally shooting his ex-girlfriend at a French Quarter diner last week. During a rescheduled hearing, a judge set bond for Alexander Kirby at $600,000. Now, Kirby remains in jail for allegedly shooting Shade St. Germain in the face Thursday morning. New Orleans police say Kirby was armed with a gun when he walked into the Clover Grill to confront his ex-girlfriend, who was sitting with her current boyfriend. Police say she tried to break up the fight between the two men when she was shot in the face. Kirby faces second-degree murder and aggravated assault. Well, a man is also in jail this morning in connection to a string of car burglaries in Algiers. 24-year-old Corey Miles was arrested Monday near Garden Oaks Drive and Berman Highway. Multiple car burglaries were reported back in April near the Tall Timbers and Algiers Point neighborhoods. New Orleans police say a second wave of burglaries happened earlier this month in the Elmwood Park neighborhood. Now, as far as Miles, he is booked with 17 counts of simple burglary, 15 counts of simple criminal damage to property, and 2 counts of theft of a firearm. On a much lighter note, the 14th annual Bayou Boogaloo continues this afternoon at Bayou St. John. Today wraps up this year's festival, so don't forget to bring some cash. We're talking about $10 for admission and your rain gear because Chris said, as you heard it, rain is on the way. Well, still ahead, former Vice President Joe Biden kicked off his first official campaign rally in Philadelphia.
I know how to make government work. Not because I've talked or tweeted about it, but because I've done it.
We'll tell you how President Trump is responding to Biden and other presidential hopefuls. Plus, the number of days the Mississippi River level continues to rise is near record-breaking. Details on that in just a minute. But Chris, we have what weather later this afternoon?
Yep, scattered showers and storms on the way for us today. Will we see any severe weather? Details in your weather expert forecast coming up.
Time now 6:08. Joe Biden kicked off his first official campaign rally in Philadelphia, where he'll have his campaign headquarters. The former vice president energized his base by taking aim at President Trump. Weijia Jiang reports from Washington.
Look, the reason we're here is because, in a literal sense, this was the birthplace of our democracy.
Change of plans for former President Jimmy Carter. He will no longer teach a Sunday school this morning in Georgia. Carter underestimated the time he needed to fully recover after having hip replacement surgery. The 94-year-old broke his hip on his way to turkey hunting Monday. His spokesperson says he apologizes for any inconvenience. The Mississippi River is on the verge of breaking a 92-year record for the longest period of flood stage in Baton Rouge. Now, this Tuesday would make the 136th day in flood stage, surpassing the record, get this, set in 1927. The river is expected to continue to rise, which could pose an increased threat to marine life and to Louisiana's seafood industry. Now, according to the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, opening the Organza Spillway is unlikely right now, but they are keeping an eye on the forecast. Right now, it is also a time to look at the forecast.
That's right.
Yes, how you feel?
Good.
Good.
We've got more storms on the way.
Yes.
But not like what we saw last weekend.
Yeah, it
with
was
the flooding rains and the severe weather outbreak. Nothing like that.
Good.
We may see a few isolated strong storms, but that would be about it.
Well, that's good news there.
Yeah, I'm trying to be as optimistic as possible because all indications are that the storms that are approaching our area.
If your adult children ask you for a loan to fund their new business or help them buy their first house, well, should you lend them the money? Leslie Sadowski, video blogger with Biz New Orleans, says there are pros and cons when giving a loan to a family member and ways to keep the peace.
If you decide to lend money to...
And there were two. Coming up, which LSU Tiger is skipping his opportunity to go pro and is heading back to school instead? Andrew Doak explains in just a few minutes. 6:26. A new chapter of CBS This Morning begins tomorrow at 7 o'clock right here on WWL TV. Gail King, Anthony Mason, and Tony Dokupo had some fun with CBS's Meg Oliver as they shared a little bit about themselves.
How many cups of coffee does it take to get through the morning?
3.
3.
None.
I have a
don't
one
drink
limit.
coffee.
I do a one. Because if I
Okay.
go past 1, I start getting,
If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
ooh, wow, that's a tough one. I'll take that.
I have perfect recall and the ability to ad-lib.
Rise and shine, and welcome back to the second half hour of the Sunday edition of the Eyewitness Morning News. We're going to get a check-in with the weather with our meteorologist, our weather expert, Liz Franklin.
It may be a little bit busier during the day today, but
Okay.
not like what we saw the last several weekends.
That's all that matters right now.
That's right. We're not looking at the flooding rains. We're not looking at the severe outbreak that we had, but maybe at times some thunderstorms that could be borderline strong to severe.
Good news there. That's all
So
that matters.
some good news. We are going to see some rainfall.
Hey, Chris, look now at some other stories you need to know. A Galliano man is missing after a fishing trip near the coast of Grand Isle. 24-year-old Joey Guidros, pictured here with the dark hair, went fishing with 2 friends when he went missing around 4 o'clock yesterday. Friends say Guidros disappeared after casting his net into a breakwater. The Coast Guard, Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Department, and the Louisiana Wildlife and Fisheries have also joined in on the search. Well, bail is set for a man, Alexander Kirby, the man accused of fatally shooting his ex-girlfriend. His bail is set at $600,000. New Orleans police say Kirby was armed with a gun Thursday morning when he walked into Clover Grill to confront Shay Day St. Germain, who was sitting with her current boyfriend. Police say she tried to break up a fight between the two men when she was shot in the face. Kirby faces second-degree murder and aggravated assault. 75 additional cases of the measles virus are confirmed by the CDC. That's 839 cases so far this year and the highest number in 25 years. But the good news for us, well, the number of states reporting cases stayed the same and does not include Louisiana. You can keep up with us and all of our headlines online at WWLTV.com or on Facebook and Twitter, and be the first to know about all the big things happening in the area with the WWL-TV mobile app. It's free and in your app store. A high school football coach in Oregon is being held a hero after tackling a gunman on the school's campus. Students, parents, and law enforcement say the coach prevented what could have been a tragic event. Here's Carter Evans.
There's an active shooter at the school.
It's an all too familiar scene when a gunman burst into a classroom.
Nobody was really prepared for this.
One of the survivors of the 1999 Columbine shooting was found dead in his home Saturday morning. 37-year-old Austin Eubanks was one of the 21 survivors in the massacre. He and his friend were both shot, but his friend unfortunately did not make it out alive. 13 people died in that shooting. Eubanks shared his struggle with drug use in the aftermath of Columbine. His cause of death has not yet been confirmed. However, his family released this statement that says Austin lost his battle with the disease that he fought hard to overcome and bring awareness. An autopsy report is scheduled for tomorrow. Paleontologists stumble upon a 42-foot-long discovery named Scotty.
Dinosaurs are nature, they're the animal kingdom on the grandest scale.
A look back at remains from a T-Rex that roamed the earth 67 million years ago. Time now, 6:40. Well, take a look at this. Here's a glimpse at the largest Tyrannosaurus Rex to have ever roamed the earth. Its remains have been reconstructed and it's now on display at a museum in Canada. Here's Jamie Yakis.
Scotty roamed the earth some 67 million.
A competition for everything. Beard experts from around the world competed in, get this, the World Beard and Mustache Championship. Hundreds of hairy men participated in the 2019 competition in categories like natural full beard longer than 30 centimeters. Wow. Well, Gary Faulkner, who won the 3rd place in the freestyle full beard category, says he tries to be as innovative as possible. Wow.
I create something different every time I compete, never the same thing. So I try to really just use my comb over beard and create something new that's never been done. You can see there's a couple circles I got up there. It took a little bit of time.
Cute. The next competition will be held in New Zealand in 2021. Well, that's interesting right there.
I could never compete.
Yeah, you could. I mean, it gives you just enough time to get your beard together.
No, I mean, I'm saying when I try and grow it, mine's kind of scraggly and not
It goes
very
in patches?
full. Yeah.
It's okay.
Kind of patchy.
It's all good.
Bit of a patchwork.
Nothing
How
wrong
about
with
you?
that. I would like to do it, but maybe
Big
one
full
day, not full beard, but I would like to do something with my hair, maybe highlights in my hair.
Maybe so.
That's what I would like. But what we need to know before we head out the door.
Yes, we have some storms on the way. We're quiet right now with the exception of a few showers, but let's take a look because we do have a tornado watch in effect for areas to our west, but that does include St. John and St. James, as well as Tangier Hope Parish, with a line of storms which have been weakening as they move in our direction. We've seen that lightning counter continue to drop. So with the lightning frequency coming down, it's indicating that the storms are falling apart. A very slow process, so as some of those will hold together, we'll likely see a few rounds of some pockets of some heavier rain during the day. Right now, a few scattered showers in the river parishes down toward the coast. Dry in the city right now, but more showers on the way for the midday and afternoon hours, but settling down by tonight.
All righty, thank you, Chris. Well, that's our show. Thank you all for watching. Eyewitness News returns back tonight at 5:30 and 10. Until then, be kind to everyone.